So let's talk a little bit about the board application process for a New York City co-op. Now, I recently made a video about the new law that went into effect on July 28th about how co-op boards need to respond to applications within certain time parameters. And people responded to that video with a certain amount of cynicism about board applications, in particular, like it just doesn't matter because the boards are just going to reject you anyway, and that type of thing. So I wanted to take this opportunity to separate fact from fiction. Now, it is true that a board can approve or reject your application. And it is also true that co-op boards are not legally required to disclose why they reject an application. And this is the part where I think people get hung up on, because they think that this could be an indicator that they can just reject people and they can kind of keep people out that they don't want and only accept people that they do. However, New York City co-op boards can only reject people for financial reasons. They cannot violate fair housing laws. So for instance, if someone has a high debt to income ratio, if they can't meet the maximum allowed financing for the building, then the board can turn them down. But again, they cannot violate fair housing laws. So naturally, the next question would be, if New York City co-op boards aren't required to reveal the reason why they reject an application, then how do you know they're not breaking the law? And that is a valid point. However, each co-op board has very clear policies about what their financial requirements are. And we in the brokerage community are very familiar with those financial requirements, and we vet prospective buyers before we submit an application. And that's whether we represent the buyers or the sellers, because no one wants to waste their time. And so it's not a mystery box where you just apply and hope that it all works out. We are familiar with what the building is looking for financially, and we have a greater chance of success. So I hope that helps. All right, later.